Hi, boys and girls. It's Miss Julia from the Children's Department in Sachem Public Library. Thank you for joining my Rainbow program. I have so many fun things planned for you today. First, I want to start with a story. This is The Leprechaun Who Lost His Rainbow, and the author is Sean Callahan, and it's illustrated by Nancy Coates. Okay, let's get started. In the soft drizzle that was falling on St. Patrick's Day, Colleen wished her grandfather good luck. He gave her a piece of red licorice, her favorite candy, and then he was off to the parade to play the bagpipes. Her grandfather had told Colleen that the notes he and his bandmates played were like colors in the air, colors only your ears could hear. Playing music is like building a rainbow, he said. A little man I once knew taught me that. Her mom and dad were going to watch the parade from the window, but Colleen sat on the porch under her yellow umbrella. What if it rained so much that everyone went home and no one heard her grandfather's bagpipes? That would be a shame. His music was so beautiful and so sad it made people smile and cry at once. To pass the time, she played a song on her green penny whistle, which had a tiny shamrock printed on it. Her grandfather had brought it all the way from Ireland. It was her favorite thing in the whole world, and she never let anyone touch it. When she finished playing a tune, she took a bite of her licorice. Just then, a little man appeared at the top step. He was a leprechaun. "I like your penny whistle," the little man said. "You play very well." Colleen started to say thank you, when suddenly the leprechaun jumped into the air and took the licorice stick right out of her mouth. He dropped it into his hat. "Thank you," he said. "I'll be needing that, or my name's not Roy G. Biv. It's just the shade of red I'm looking for." I wonder why the leprechaun needed to take her red licorice. Colleen was shocked. "What are you doing?" she shouted. "Give me my candy." The leprechaun frowned. "Your grandfather was much more helpful." "You knew my grandfather?" Colleen asked. "Yes, we created a rainbow together back when he was a boy," Mr. Biv explained. Colleen was puzzled. Could this be the little man her grandfather talked about? Mr. Biv looked glum. "I've lost my rainbow again, and my gold is at the end of it. To be a leprechaun in good standing, I must have gold. So I need someone's help to build a rainbow." He paused. "That someone is you." Colleen frowned. Leprechauns were tricky. Everyone knew that. Could Mr. Biv be telling the truth? "Let me show you something," the leprechaun said. "Spin round with the hat and watch what happens." She twirled around holding the hat. Suddenly, a streak of bright red, just the color of her licorice, sprang out of the hat, hung in the air for a moment, and then disappeared. Colleen was amazed. "See," Mr. Biv said, "we're starting to make a rainbow, and if there's a rainbow, the sun will come out to shine on the parade." Colleen took a deep breath. "What do we do?" "For every color, I need something that belongs to you. Something red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet." Colleen looked around. There was her new orange basketball. She hated to give it up, but she tossed it into Mr. Biv's hat. Immediately, an orange streak shot up. She gave him her yellow umbrella. Yellow curved under the orange. When her blue ribbons went in, a beautiful blue appeared. Next to go was her indigo headband, and finally, her favorite violet scarf. Now, there was a rainbow of colors coming out of the hat, but something was wrong. Right between the yellow and blue, there was an empty space. Colleen knew which color was missing. "Yes, we need green," Mr. Biv said. "And not just any green, Colleen. It's a very hard color to find, which is why rainbows are so rare." It was raining harder. The parade goers were starting to leave. Colleen was nervous. What would the leprechaun want? I wonder what it is. You're going to have to make one more sacrifice, lass, Mr. Biv said. I'm going to need your penny whistle with the shamrock on it. That green is the last perfect color I need for my rainbow. Colleen started to cry. No, she said, clutching her precious penny whistle. My grandfather gave it to me. But Colleen, dear, if you give me the penny whistle, you and I can make the sun shine on this parade. And your grandfather and his music, said Mr. Biv pleadingly. Colleen held the penny whistle to her lips and blew one last sad note. She paused and then dropped the penny whistle into the leprechaun's hat. In a flash, the rain stopped. The sun burst through the clouds, and a rainbow, complete with the most beautiful shade of green ever, spread across the sky. The parade goers gazed up in wonder, and Colleen's grandfather began to play the bagpipes. The music was so beautiful and sad that people smiled and cried all at once. Nobody noticed that a pot of gold had appeared at the end of the rainbow, right on Colleen's front lawn. Roy G. Biv dug his hand into the pot of gold and pulled out a flute that looked just like Colleen's penny whistle. But this wasn't a toy flute. It was a real one made of silver, and there was a shamrock on it that looked like Colleen's, only this was made of emeralds. Thanks for sharing with me, Mr. Biv said as he handed Colleen the flute. And with that, he and his pot of gold were gone. Colleen's grandfather stood in front of her. Who is that you were talking with? He asked. Roy G. Biv, she said. He's a leprechaun. I thought I recognized him, her grandfather said. He gave me this flute, Grandpa. Ah, 'tis a nice one. Silver, just like my bagpipes. What do you say we play a tune? So together they played When Irish Eyes Are Smiling. The colors danced in the air. The end. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you notice, the cover has the rainbow that Colleen created with Mr. Biv, and it's got the colors red, orange, yellow, green, indigo, and violet, well, blue, indigo, and violet. So today we are going to make our own rainbow. So you're going to get a bag with some materials in it. There's going to be half of a paper plate, some popsicle, some pipe cleaners, and some cotton balls. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a blue crayon and you're going to color your paper plate like this. Then with the help of a grown-up, you're going to take either a scissor or a box cutter or an X-Acto knife, and you're going to cut some holes, cut some slices in between all throughout the paper plate. So I just have to do a couple more. You just want to make sure that they went completely through. Sometimes they don't go completely through. And then to create our rainbow, you have all the different rainbow colored pipe cleaners here. And we're going to practice some weaving today. So we're going to take our red pipe cleaner, because that's the first color in a rainbow. And we're going to start it in the back. Actually, we're going to start it in the front. And we're going to stick the pipe cleaner through the first slit. And we're going to pull it, and we're going to stick it through the one in the back. And we're going to pull it again. And we're going to just weave it in and out of each slit in our paper plate until it's all the way through our paper plate. You want to make sure that you push it up all the way to the top of your slits, because we have the other colored pipe cleaners. So that's what it looks like when it's all weaved. Then you're going to take your orange popsicle stick and you're going to start opposite. So since we started our red one in the front, We're gonna start our orange one in the back. And we're gonna weave it. In and out, and in and out. And then again, we're gonna make sure that we push it up so we have plenty of room for our other pipe cleaners. Now, as we weave, there's gonna be some extra hanging out. You could just cut that off. So after orange comes what color? Yellow. So we're gonna take our yellow pipe cleaner and we're gonna start this one in the front. We'll start in the front, so we go in the back. We're gonna continue weaving. And then when we're done, we're gonna push it up. So we're gonna do it until we do all 6 of our rainbow colors. And when you are done, it's going to look like this. You've got my red, my orange, my yellow, my green, my blue, and my purple. And I cut off whatever was hanging out on the bottom. Now you're also going to get these cotton balls. So you're going to take some glue and you are going to glue one side of your rainbow and glue on your cotton balls because they look like clouds. So there you have your weaved rainbow with your cotton ball clouds. Okay, so again, this is the finished product. There is going to be a picture of it in your bag as well. Okay, so now we have one more final story, and this is one of my favorites. This is Ava and the Rainbow That Stayed, and this is written and illustrated by Jed Adamson. Ava was excited, not because the rain was stopping. She was excited because the sun was coming out, and that meant one thing. A rainbow. And this really was the most beautiful rainbow Ava had ever seen. If only you could stay forever, she said. That night, Ava dreamed the rainbow did stay forever. But when she looked, and what a happy dream she thought as she woke up the next morning. But when she looked out her window, Ava wondered if she actually had woken up at all. I wonder what's outside her window. The rainbow was still there. And when he realized he was still there that night, Ava realized it was true. The rainbow really had decided to stay. Within days, people were arriving from far and wide. Everybody wanted to see the rainbow who had decided to stay. The town was quick to make the most of it. There was a new town mascot, which didn't please the old town mascot. The shops were suddenly full of rainbow-themed souvenirs. People bought t-shirts and cuddly rainbow toys, and the rainbow was discussed by the professors in the town university. Every week, something different was happening, and the rainbow was at the center of it all. Ava would spend hours talking to the rainbow. She told him all about herself. She introduced him to her friends. She sang to him, and she showed him all her favorite books and toys. Winter came, and it was the coldest anyone could remember. The rainbow shivered and shook, but still, he stayed. Spring finally arrived, and by this time, people had gotten so used to the rainbow, sometimes they even forgot he was there. Ava began to realize something. Slowly but surely, the town was losing interest in the rainbow. The rainbow was no longer at the center of it all. How could they do this to something so special? Ava said in despair. Just then, a crowd of people with cameras came into view, climbing the hill toward them. I think they're all climbing to see you again, shouted Ava to the rainbow. But it wasn't the rainbow they'd come to see. Perched on a tree was a tiny bird. Isn't it wonderful? One of the people breathlessly said. It's a Russian water sparrow. We're so lucky. They stop here for only a few hours every year. Such a rare and precious sight. Ava didn't know it, but the rainbow had heard every word. Thought the rainbow. A rare and precious sight. The next morning, the rainbow was gone. Ava hoped he wouldn't be gone forever. But from that moment on, every time it rained, Ava looked for a rainbow. And then one special day, the rainbow had returned. Ava knew this time the rainbow wouldn't stay forever, but he'd always come back. A rare and precious sight indeed. The end. So I'm so happy you came to join me. I hope you enjoy making your rainbow and weaving all your pipe cleaners in there. I will see you next time. Bye.